All right, ladies, let's talk about the lob strategy and its recovery. So here, let's talk about what not to do. Here you got Kubat and Mello. They're playing Brian and Sock. They're going at it. Suddenly, Brian gets a short ball, and he's got to go up and put this lob up, which forces Kubat and Mello to switch sides. Now, Kubat makes the mistake of putting the ball across the middle. Guess what? The net player is there, in this case, Brian, and he puts the ball away. Now, again, most of the time we're going to be at the back switching, but the problem with us is that we hit across the middle quite often, whether it's a lob or just a regular shot. The net player is there to put the ball away. So, this is actually what we want to avoid. You want to avoid going across the middle of the court when you're having to switch sides. Okay, so let me show you an example of what we should be doing, especially with the lob response. Here you have Ash Barty and Vandewey playing. They're going up. Ash Barty puts up a beautiful lob. The opponent puts it down the line. Well, let's figure out why she's doing this. Let's take a look right here in the center of the court. Vandewey, she's waiting for the opponent to put that ball cross court. She wants to put the ball away. She's a net player. She wants you to throw up a short cross court lob so she can put an overhead away. This is what the net player does, you guys. You want to avoid this net player by putting it down the line. Now, Ash Barty, being a number 1 player in the world or a former number 1, throws up a beautiful lob here. Now, let me go in close here. You see this net player? Look what she's doing. She's ready to take an overhead. She's ready to smash it in Vandewey's face. It just so happens that Ash Barty, being a former number 1 or the number 1, she puts up a great lob. All right, let's take another example here. And what you're going to see is the serve. It goes up as a lob. They switch sides, and the right response down the line. And now they're rallying. They're going down the line. But the moment this guy decides to switch up and he puts it across the middle, the net player, Ram, gets his hands on it. Now, we're talking professional tennis here, so this guy responds well, but I'm not sure how many of us would have actually got our hands on this ball. All right, let's take a look at a variation. So here is an I formation. The guy serves it. The returner sees this, puts up a high down the line. They've already switched. Guess what? Ball goes right back down the line, avoiding the net player. They come in, goes down the line, and now a great cross court ball. I want to point out though, we're going to go in slow mo here. This ball is not across the middle. It is way wide. Take a look at when it crosses the net. This is why the net player who's in the middle does not get the ball. Okay, I'm going to show one last variation here. We have some ladies. Melik here is in a rally. She goes back and forth with the baseline person down the line. And all of a sudden, what you're going to see is a poach over, which scares her opponent, and her opponent throws up a lob. Now, Melik goes for the ball, and she lobs it back. But where does she lob it? She lobs it down the line, scoring the point. All right, so again, let's talk about what we've learned. 1, lobs are a great technique to get your opponent off sides. So we definitely want to use the lob, but we also have to understand how do we respond when we get lobbed. So when we get lobbed, we want to send that ball back down the line. You do not have to lob it down the line, but you do have to remember that the net is 6 inches higher on the side, so you must give yourself 2 to 3 feet of clearance. All right, now you're in this rally. Now what? Well, you have 3 options. Option number 1, go ahead and do the rally. You can rally all day. Just be consistent. Remember, your partner is there. They're going to fake the poach. They're going to throw your opponent off and help you to be able to come in and hit a great shot. Or they're going to poach that ball. Number 2, You can shorten up the ball. You can do this by slicing the ball short. Slicing the ball short is going to bring that baseline player in, throw them off. They're going to throw the ball up, and that's going to allow your net partner to get in there and put that ball away. Option number 3 is you can rip that ball short and wide across court. We've seen an example of it. Here it is right here. Again, if you've got that shot and you can rip it cross court short, do it. I just want to point out the opportunities here. So you can see there's a hole here and a hole here. And this would have given this guy an opportunity to actually go behind his partner with a cross court or even a cross court lob to hit those empty spaces. Now, if you can, sometimes you want to use your partner as a shield and you want to hit the ball behind them and cross court so that you throw the opponents off. Now, net players, this is your time to shine. This is when you got to get in there and you got to help your partner. So you're going to try to poach that ball. You're going to try to get off sides inch by inch, slowly but surely, getting in to grab that ball and put it away. Number 2, you've got to be ready. You've got to be ready because if they take the offense and that baseline decides to rip it across court, you have got to be that blockade and put that ball away. Be ready for it. It's coming back or it's coming to you. Either one, you've got to be set for it. And that concludes this week's lesson on the lob strategy.